Hi, I'm Dan from Grads in Games. These are the key things that you need to have a great game design portfolio. For some designers, the idea of building a portfolio may seem like a load of extra work. I'm not an artist, why do I need a portfolio? But it's absolutely essential. A CV can only do so much. It's your portfolio where you can really show off your skills, and studios will be expecting to see examples of your work in a really simple and easy to understand way. A great portfolio of work is what will help you stand out from the several hundred other people applying for these roles. Some of the big things to think about aren't even about what projects are in your portfolio. It's about having good accessibility. Sounds obvious, but it's amazing how many people fall at these first hurdles. You need to make sure you get the basics right so people can access your portfolio. Check that the link to your portfolio actually works. Have a link that's simple, relatively short, and easy to remember. If someone needs to type it out, like from a printed copy of your CV, and you've linked to a nightmare of nonsense and tracking codes, not going to bother. Make it easy to find. Stick it at the top of your CV and all your social profiles. Anywhere someone is looking for you, they should find your portfolio link. If you're using free hosting, minimize or avoid any sites that will insert too many adverts over your portfolio. People come to your portfolio to see your work, not get distracted by junk ads to improve their grammar or watch YouTube tutorials. Don't password protect your portfolio. Are you under NDA for your uni or college work? If you actually want to keep stuff hidden, maybe put it somewhere else. Doesn't make sense to go to the effort of creating and promoting a fantastic portfolio, then limit access to it. All of these things may seem really obvious, but they all represent barriers that will stop a hiring manager from looking at your work. And if they can't look at your work, your chances of getting to an interview, gone. When it comes to the portfolio itself, you can create a portfolio site from scratch if you want to, but you really don't need to. There's plenty of places like WordPress or Wix that will have preset templates designed specifically for portfolio presentation. As long as the format is clear and it's easy to read and navigate, it's fine. One thing you may want to do is get yourself a custom site name. So if it was me, I'd look for dandudley.com or something similar. It just makes everything a lot cleaner and easier to remember, especially if it's your name. With the content itself, studios are most impressed by people who can show that they have experience making games. So your portfolio should be tailored towards this. This can include anything from images, videos of games that you've worked on, to mods, levels, prototypes, anything else related to the game design process. A portfolio where you give a deep dive crit analysis of Lady Boyle's Last Party or explain why Mario 1-1 is an inspiration might show fantastic design knowledge, but it's going to get overlooked if you don't actually have some strong examples of you putting that knowledge into practice. Make games, don't just talk about them. The best thing you can include are finished games and game prototypes. Even better if you've got stuff published and available on a store somewhere. By being able to show that you are used to creating finished game projects that other people can actually play, you are showing studios that you are committed to game development. This is exactly the kind of thing studios want to see. It's important to present each game in a way that is easy to understand, but at the same time provides the hiring manager with enough info about your design process. Don't just put a link up with a thumbnail picture. Use video, use GIFs, annotate what it is that you are showing. Show off actual mechanics or design principles that you've used. I'd suggest using edited video playthroughs of your portfolio projects, where you can talk about the design decisions that you've made as they play out on screen. It's a great way of letting studios know several things about your design knowledge, work process, and communication skills, all in one go. You already know this, but documentation is incredibly important for a designer, so be prepared to showcase this. Just bear in mind that absolutely no one is going to want to read a 40-page design document on their first pass looking over your application. Similarly, no one's going to care about learning more if you only leave brief notes like example of combat design or anything else that's just not that descriptive. The key thing here is to be detailed but concise. You can include a section of the design document and break down how a process has been developed, but make it clear that this is just a small part of a larger document. Prototypes where you can show systems or level design mechanics in action can be great too. Anything interactive will always be a positive, as long as it's accompanied by a clear description. Make sure you include some basic details of the project, like the engine, tools, or programming languages that you've used. If you can showcase a solo project, that shows the hiring manager your design skills as well as your technical capabilities. By doing that, you're really showing hiring managers you have the key skills they're looking for in a graduate designer. This sometimes comes as a surprise to people, but modding and using game editors can also be a really valuable addition to your portfolio. Good game mods can show that you have a good understanding of designing for a specific genre or style construct and how to design for a specific audience. It's a practical way of showing that you can create new scenarios, mechanics, levels, or other design elements using the existing structures developed for a game. It's probably the closest you can get to working on a studio project without actually working in a studio, so get on it. Doesn't matter if it's Creation Kit or Mario Maker, if you've done something smart that shows off both your game design skills and your ability to use game dev tools, get it on your portfolio. Group projects are something you should think about carefully before adding to your portfolio. As a designer, a lot of your portfolio is probably going to be from group projects, both inside and outside university. It's a perfect way of showing off your team working, collaboration, and communication skills, and some of these projects may have turned out amazingly, but you should always keep in mind that studios will be most interested in seeing what you did personally. The key thing you need to make sure of is that your contributions to the project are clear. Explain fully what your involvement was as a designer and what your role was in the development process. Be clear with how big the team was and how long the development took. You also need to be willing to cut stuff from your portfolio if it's not your best work. Be honest with yourself. If your team made a game that looks fantastic, but the design process and GDD are kind of basic or incomplete when you look at it, is that really one of the best projects that you've got for you to showcase your talents to potential employers? I've mentioned it before, but want to reiterate that your communication skills are vital for becoming a graduate designer. You have to be able to clearly explain your ideas and show that you understand fundamental concepts. And if it's not already clear from your work, then one way of getting that across may be through an explainer video as part of your portfolio. Just record yourself talking to camera or doing a voiceover, explaining one of your designs and the workings out behind it. Now I want to show you some great portfolio features that may be able to give you some inspiration. Here you can see the portfolio of John Coolan, who graduated in summer 2019 and secured an associate designer role straight away. As you can see, John has a personalized web address, which is easy to remember and looks good on his CV. His projects are grouped in sections, making it really clear whether they were done during his time at university or in his own personal time. The very best projects are right at the top, inviting viewers to see his best work first. He's included both images and videos of each project, including a breakdown of the technologies used, team size, all in an easy to read table. Once you click through to a project, you can see there are clear descriptions of the key features of the game and what his personal responsibilities were. This is accompanied by animated GIFs, pictures and videos, as well as a download link for viewers to see more. This is a great example of how you can structure and present your work. I definitely suggest checking this out in more detail to help you when building your own portfolio. Lastly, if you're looking for a portfolio review, then the team at Grads in Games are always able to provide further guidance and advice. Once you've finished watching this video, you can send the team your portfolio link for us to review. You'll also unlock some amazing videos from professional game designers themselves. They'll be providing their own personal tips for building your portfolio. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the Grads in Games team anytime.